So what's crazy is like, I be in the crib sometimes and like certain things just be like coming across my mind and I be having time to like sit with myself and think, right? So I thought about this and I was like, yo, what y'all think about this, right? Yo, sometimes you have to fight your demons and sometimes you have to survive your demons. What does that mean to you guys?
Man, I think all of us fight demons every day. Surviving them is you still getting up, going to work, you still take care of your children,
Mm-hmm.
and you somehow put a smile on your face.
Mm-hmm.
That's the survival of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That the demon. What? This is the demon, right? It is.
It is.
And that's how we cope with that shit. We ain't letting it take over because then we lose.
I agree with everything Trev said. It's a struggle every day being a black man dealing with demons. Demons come in so many different ways.
Yeah.
From, like you said, self-inflicted, whether it's drinking, smoking, but then there's also just the outside world, discrimination, racism, just the pressures of being a black man. Everyone got all these expectations. Like somebody's always saying like, oh, be a man, be a real man. Like, what does that even mean?
Word.
Like there's no cookie cut. There's no list. There's no, there's no handbook of being a man. We all trying our best. A lot of us, our own generation, our generation comes from the broken home. A lot of us don't have our fathers. A lot of us have absentee fathers. So a lot of us grow up not even seeing how a man should be.
Right.
So we're already here behind the 8 ball. We already here trying to break, generational curses, being there for our kids, because our fathers weren't present like that. So it's a struggle. It's a lot of demons. There's a lot of demons, even maybe more so than the generation before. There's a lot of demons because now even social media is a fucking demon.
Yeah.
You feel like you didn't post something to your gram. Everybody don't see what you're doing. That shit start fucking with you. You know, like it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. There's a lot of demons.
So the surviving part for you,
surviving
your
fighting. It's a lot of different factors. There's a lot of different factors with that. But shout out to my brothers. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my boy D-Ed. Shout out all of my boys, everybody that I know, everyone who I consider friends and family. We're all present in our families' lives. We're all present for our kids. And that's us surviving and defeating the demons. That's what we doing. We're actually defeating the demons. And then we just keep the cycle going with our kids. I know my son sees me. He sees how I love on my wife. He sees how I treat my friends. He sees how I treat my family. And that's all he knows. And that's how you keep that cycle going. And then he just next cycle, he takes it to the next level. So my great grandkids and my grandkids after that is just with love. You just lead with love and understanding.
It's some kids that's watching that from Instagram.
Yeah.
Like he said, his kid is there watching him do it.
Yeah.
There's kids out there watching, whether it's wrong or right, they watching that shit.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
Facts.
Yeah, we just gotta try our best, man. Just gotta try your best and put your best foot forward. That's all I can say. That's all I can say because the odds are against us. It is.
So I want to tap into that a little bit. Like, first I want to say salute to the nigga that sneezed. But so yeah, so when I think about like, fighting your demons and shit, I feel like that's the everyday. And I empathize with the people that gotta fight because I feel like it must be such an exhausting feeling to like wake up in every day and have to fight something that you want, like your body's going against something. And that shit gotta get exhausted to some point. You get what I'm saying? And I just wish that as a culture we could just wake up sometimes with just peace. We could wake up without the thought process of having to fight or the energy to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The surviving part, like you guys said, like, we do that on the everyday just by showing up. We show up. most people, it's hard for them to show up. And I think as I got older, I kind of like started to empathize more with the people that can't show up. Before I used to be like, you know, what kind of person are you for not showing up? But then, you know, as I do the work every day, I realize like, yo, this shit is hard. This shit is really hard. And it takes a special kind of person to keep it going. It takes a special kind of people to be together, to uplift somebody to keep it going. And not everybody is fortunate to have that in their circle. So you got a lot of people that's fighting these battles by themselves.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? So even if they didn't survive their demons, it's because they was by themselves. And the ones that kind of do, because they have a good support system. So I think like that saying or that quote alone has just put me in a space of just having more grace for the people that just don't have support. You get what I'm saying? And less criticism on like their mindset, the way they move. You get what I'm saying? Because like I probably, like I know I've always said this, like musically, you know, we could start this from like just the music aspect. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have been a way different artist had I not been around you. I would have not known to attack it and move in a certain light. So when I see another artist, and I see that I have less criticism for them because they just don't know. So it's like I was fortunate to know and fortunate to be around people that's actually professionals and that's doing it on a daily. You get what I'm saying? To where somebody else would look down on somebody that just doesn't know. And that's the thing though. Like one thing I do want to say for our culture and our people, yo, you get to a point in life where you understand things and it just clicks for you. And you may know like the right vitamins to take, the right book to read, the right, you get what I'm saying? You're just on that healing path or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? And somebody's not there, whether you're friend or family, you know what I mean? And because they're not at that stage and you're at that stage already, we tend to have like resentment for them. And I think that got to change because we survived it and we mastered it. We got to have a little bit grace for like, they might not. We got to have hope. We hope that they do. But whether they do or they don't cannot stop the flow of what you got going on. That's the main point. But you could have empathy if they don't, because you could understand that everybody can make it. And I think once you realize that everybody can make it, you start to move accordingly. But then it also kind of like makes you feel sad. And it makes you feel like, damn, I wish they could get it the way I got it.